Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel in our year to shine. My name is Carolyn and I'm back with you here to discuss Christine Arlo's book, Madly in Love with Me. So did you have a nice madly in love with you Valentine's Day maybe? Or madly in love with someone else? I have my roses in the background. I wanted you to see how pretty they are. I hope you had a nice weekend no matter what you did and that you've been thinking a lot about this self-love topic. I will just share with you, I've decided I need to slow down a little bit with this book. I mentioned in another video that Sarah last year in our Simple Abundance year, Sarah Ban Breathnach, the author, she really sort of eased us into the idea of self-love. It was sprinkled in with other topics, and this is hit you right in the face, daring us to do a lot of these exercises and really just like, you're gonna do it, you're gonna love yourself. It's not as gentle. And I'll be honest, I was really struggling over the weekend and feeling like I don't want any of you to feel this way, but feeling like I'm failing at this book, you know? And here I am trying to bring it to YouTube. But I'm only human. I've said that before. And I know that this is a difficult topic for me. I told you that from the outset. So the fact that I'm trying is a big step, and I appreciate you all being here. And I'm again going to choose a topic that I feel comfortable with, which today is self-trust. There was another chapter in addition to the self-acceptance one that I tried to film a video on twice, and you know I never stop and redo, but I don't want the videos to be a rant or really negative about like getting into too much of my issue or resistance about things. So I'm choosing a different one, and it's self-trust, and I feel like I can be positive about this one. And we talked a lot about this in our Simple Abundance year last year. So Christine has a little saying about self-trust, and saying basically definition. Choosing to listen to and follow the guidance of your inner voice, believing you know what is right for you even when other people think or say otherwise. How do you think you do with the self-trust? Is that something that comes easy to you, or do you feel like you're just constantly questioning every decision? Because Christine talks about a couple of her clients who just would vacillate back and forth and just weigh every little detail, you know, and it was like every decision was a crisis, or they needed someone else to just decide for them. I don't feel that this one is one that gives me much difficulty. Have I made decisions that I can't say I totally regret, but that I know looking back were probably not the right decision at the time? Yes. But when you think about something like, even I've mentioned I was married before, so you think about, well, that wasn't really a great decision in the long run. But if I add up the things like the places I live, the people I met, the changes to my life that were for the positive, the businesses that came out of it, things like that, then I don't regret that decision. So maybe I was supposed to go through something difficult, even, despite all the good things. I don't know. So I'm not afraid to take chances. I guess I'm a little bit rogue. I've probably said that before too. And I do feel like I pretty much have a sense when I know something is right or not right, because I feel like when it's right, I feel good about it. When it's not right, I have a lot of questions or fear about it. So what is your sort of like, I've heard that term before where someone says like, I have a knower, like my knower knew, What is your knower? Or are you even aware? Or do you just kind of do what you're supposed to do and not really take any chances? So she does talk to us about how so many women just self-sabotage through decisions that they have to make, and they might know in their hearts what they want, but they're too afraid, or they just push that voice down. And she wants us in a me moment to really explore a time when you failed to trust yourself, and ask some questions about things like, what did you learn? Like, what would have happened if you had trusted yourself? Things like that. Why did you make the choice? What you really knew, and what you would have done differently had you known how to trust yourself. And so she, just like in the first section where she had some sentences to help us do little exercises, she says, begin with the statement, I made a choice to blank. Continue your story using each of the following 8 sentence starters in order. Each will bring you closer to the truth and to trusting in yourself. So I'll read them. Number 1 is, it was not the best choice for me because. Number 2, I made the choice because I listened to, like maybe you listened to a particular person. 3, I made the choice because I lacked. There could be a lot of answers to that. 4, I made the choice because I felt blank. 5, I made it even though I really knew blank. Like, I really knew I wanted to do something different, probably, right? Number 6, I made it even though I really felt blank. And number 7, I didn't trust myself enough to. And number 8, had I trusted myself, I would have. Yeah, I could see how that would really make something clear. And I suppose you could change the wording of those 8 sentences if you were trying to decide something and you needed to have a little conversation with yourself. And you could say something like, if I were going to make the best choice for me, what would it be? You know, I'm making this choice because because I'm listening to, or whatever. You could probably change the wording a little bit and put it more in the moment. She does talk, and one of the ones that I skipped over was about the self-compassion and forgiveness. But there is a section about forgiving yourself in here because, yeah, maybe you made a decision in the past and you just cannot forgive yourself. It led you down a horrible road. Like maybe something similar to my example, but you can't think of anything good that came out of that decision. And yeah, you have to really forgive yourself for that, for sure. She has some really good stories in this chapter too. She uses a lot of case studies from her clients. She wants us to share a transformational experience that we may have with someone else. So share a time when you really did trust yourself. Yeah. And I like also, she talks about making the branch stronger, you know, but I like how she encourages us to keep a little magical and miracle notebook. So you guys know that I do this a little bit in a couple of different ways, but she wants you to keep track of when things happen in your life, like you were in the right place at the right time, you knew the right person, you know, it led to some amazing thing. You could think about things from the past, but really she's having you start to keep track in a journal or on a piece of paper, in the computer, your phone, whatever you're going to do to track it, and to just start accumulating the evidence of these miracles. And I told you, I've already been doing that. And I like to write down when somebody that I know has an amazing story like that too, because it just instills more hope. I didn't really think about it from the self-trust. Yeah, it definitely makes you think, wow, that person really trusted, you know, timing, or that they were in the right place at the right time, and like I want to be like that. So yeah, I like that. So just like exercising, when you're flexing your muscles and getting stronger, also with making our branch for the self-trust stronger. She has some mental muscles, she calls it. Your mind is just a set of beliefs. So retraining your mind to see the magic. And some of that's going to be like keeping track of the magical miracle things that you put in that notebook, right? Notice how you make decisions against what you're really feeling, just because you have some belief or thought logged into your brain that says this is how it is. Yeah, or maybe like this is what I was taught when I was growing up, that this is how life is. Your mind contains a huge pile of beliefs that you've picked up along the way. When did you start believing in magic and in miracles? In the inexplicable being, just as a real in the inexplicable being, just as real as something you prove with a formula. Okay, sorry, that was part of that question, so it was actually superfluous to the sentence prior to that. Anyway, so when did you stop believing in the miraculous things and fairy tales and things like that? Actually, one of the holidays that I'm going to celebrate this year is on February 26th. It is Fairy Tale Day, so I'm thinking of some fun things to do. And by the way, Sunday is going to be my R&R day, my special February envelope. So if you've been wanting to plan an R&R day, you could always do that along with me on Sunday. All right, so I told you about the journal. And then also I'm noticing in this book, she has a lot of cute little things. So remember, she had us scrubbing off the stuff in the shower, and then washing in the good things and getting it in with our emotion. She also has some things, like I mentioned my little spray, the smell for the particular thing, like peace or shine or whatever. But she has a bunch of things in here, like the love tank and stuff. But this chapter has using Tic Tacs and just putting the words faith and love on a box of Tic Tacs and mentally thinking as you are, ingesting one, that it's almost like a little magic pill that you're taking to really have the faith and trust in yourself. What do you think about that? You think you could do that? It's kind of neat. It's like a placebo thing. Oh, and on the same note, she mentions a 40-day fear cleanse. And she does that with Gabrielle Bernstein. Have you guys heard of her? She's a great author. So you can find that at thefearcleanse.com. I bet that's a big challenge as well. So I mentioned working your emotional muscles, and there's a distinguishing point between the voice of fear and the voice of love. You've heard that, right? That there's either fear or love. Yeah, and love is your inner wisdom, and fear is your inner mean girl. She uses that term, inner mean girl, in some of the other chapters that I haven't talked about yet. And it's kind of like Sarah in Simple Abundance said that our ego was our evil twin, the authentic self evil twin. So that's Christine's version, the inner mean girl. And then there's another daring act of love: sleep with your inner wisdom for a week. What are you currently doing to communicate with your inner wisdom? Are you talking to her daily? Did that other chapter where we talked about having a conversation with yourself, did that really hit home how, what is the word? Infrequently, yeah, I couldn't think of the word. How infrequently you really are talking to yourself and listening to what you have to say. This is another activity like that. So consulting her first when there's a big decision coming up is a big deal. If the answer to any of these is no, it's time for you to commit to building an intimate relationship with your inner wisdom and doing it fast. And there's no better way to get close to someone than to share a bed with her. For the next 7 nights and 7 mornings, you're going to sleep with your inner wisdom. She is the last one you're going to talk to before you close your eyes at night, and the first one you'll talk to when you awaken. All you need is a journal and a pen. Starting the first night while you're in bed, but before you go to sleep, take the journal and write a letter to your inner wisdom, telling her how much you're looking forward to building a more intimate relationship together. Write, "Dear inner wisdom, I'm so excited that we're going to be spending the next week sleeping with each other," and then list all the things you would like to receive. Close the journal and dream loving dreams. Do you think that's possible? Your dreams are your subconscious, so if you set an intention like that, be interesting to see what happens. The next morning when you wake up, before doing anything else, grab your journal, close your eyes, and ask your inner wisdom to come and speak to you. Then write the words, "Dear inner wisdom, what would you like for me to know today?" And then jot down whatever comes. Or write some other question for your inner wisdom. You could put "Dear inner wisdom" and then insert your question, and then write whatever comes into the response. Just let it flow, even if you can't read the writing. That's true, because you could go back and think a couple months from now, like, wow, that's exactly what I was saying, and I hadn't even understood what that meant. Still stuck or want more juice? Get yourself an oracle deck, which is a set of cards that can help you access your inner wisdom. That's really fun too, and I don't mean to make it like a voodoo thing or anything like that, but if you have, there are so many inspirational decks out there, and you can just pull a card. And she mentions the magic 8 ball. I actually have a magic 8 ball. It's just totally for fun, but it's sort of like that when you almost like need another little thing to help you trust. Yeah, it's all coming from you anyway. It's not like you're inviting spirits in or anything like that. And then more of flexing the self-love muscles and the self-trust part of it, and just checking in with your inner wisdom every day and taking small steps before you make any big decisions. And yeah, make your inner wisdom your magic 8 ball. Yep, that is the last daring act of love. And she has a mantra always at the end of each chapter, so I'll read it. "I hear my inner wisdom. I feel my inner wisdom. I know what is best for me, and it is safe to trust myself." That's a big statement. What do you think about that? Do you feel like it's safe to trust yourself, or do you have a voice in your head, maybe from growing up and not getting that validation? Like having to stick in the should, in the, like, you're supposed to do this. And I have a kitty scratching on the ground, sorry. As opposed to, what do you really want to do? And the answers are always within, they say. So it might just be a matter of getting quiet. You could do that journal exercise, go to bed at night and see what comes up, because that first time in the morning is supposed to be when you are very, nothing's happened yet. So you're hoping to reach for a positive thought, and it would be interesting to see what your inner wisdom has to say to you. So I hope you have a conversation like that on paper or mentally, or even just recording it into something too, if you feel like you're more of an auditory person. I'll be back with more of Madly in Love with Me. I may be taking some time in between just to see how much that I can do with it. I have to be really gentle with my healing, and I don't want to get that feeling of failure or a feeling of despair, like it's not going to happen for me, to finally challenge some of these things that are really deep-rooted in me. But I'm sending you my love, and I thank you for being here, and I thank you for all your comments too. I love hearing from you. So I'll see you guys next time on the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.